All right, guys, hey, we're back. Now we're setting up the other one. We're gonna go into all the motor settings and how we connect this to the Mercury, the side imaging, down imaging, all that really cool stuff. So, AKA product specialist, product knowledge expert, everything in between, Jacob Scott. So now we've got my RC, we'll name this one the RC right console unit, and we're gonna just kind of show you how I set this up. And let's kind of talk about one of the coolest things, one of the things that I use a lot is my gauges. Show them the gauges.
Okay, so on this one,
you just hit instruments.
Right, and the engine data, so this is a NEMA 2000 connected engine. So it's connected to the vessel view link on this boat, which gives us a lot of Mercury features. But a lot of other engine manufacturers will also connect via NEMA 2000, and you can get your engine data on the screen. You can build custom gauges however you want to. So this one's set up. Basically, we've got speed over ground, we've got a compass, we're showing depth, water temp, voltage, and time, which our time's incorrect. We're gonna need to set that. But what's really cool is this is a basic dashboard. There's a 2x2 digital, there's a navigation, awesome. There's one that shows tank levels when all of that is set up. So you can set all kinds of information, and you don't have to use just this stuff. This is the basic one, but you can also
go ahead,
you can create
all kinds of stuff.
You can create, if I hit new, it brings up a blank slate and lets me create a custom dashboard with, if I wanted to like look at my RPMs, my speed, water pressure. If
fuel.
So that's one thing that I do have on my screen on my boat is I've got my fuel rate so that I know if I'm running wide open throttle, it'll tell me, you know, I'm using, 20 gallons an hour while I'm running or something like that. I know how big my tank is, so that lets me know, all right, if I back it off to 3/4 of throttle, all right, I'm only using 12 gallons an hour, and I'm going almost as fast. So, for you guys doing those long runs, that's something really important for you is fuel management.
Absolutely.
So having the ability to do fuel management is huge on this.
So one thing that I want you to do for me, I filled this boat up before we put it in. I put 66.3 gallons of water. Can you set that up for me?
You put 66.3 gallons of water in here?
No, I didn't. 66 gallons of fuel before I put it in the water. Tongue-tied, 66.3 gallons.
Okay,
is what she held.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my pages, and we're going to go to settings, and then we come down here to fuel. So
vessel setup, is that, or?
So that's the first thing I would do, because since we just got this from the factory, I'm figuring they didn't do any setups.
Okay.
So 60 gallon tank?
66.
66 gallon tank. So we're gonna go arrow over here.
0.3. Hey, I might need that 0.3. I have run out of fuel multiple times in my career.
I don't ever admit to that. I've done it once. Okay, so now if you hit fuel used and
if the engine's running, you haven't started, but it's going to all pop up right there how much fuel I've used.
So now this is the important thing for you guys that use your units for your fuel gauge. Right here under fuel, you hit refuel, and it's going to ask me, all right, did I add just a certain number of gallons, or did I fill it up? So I would say set to fuel, and then I hit OK. And so now it's going to tell me I've got 66.3 gallons of fuel in this boat.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
So, those are just like some of the things you get to do that's just amazing
I
that
know.
you didn't do in the past. In the past, you had a little gauge down here, and if that gauge was wrong, you were wrong.
Yeah.
So
what about setting up, I see that I've got this charge unit on here. Can you set that charge unit up for me?
It's already set up.
Okay,
it connects automatically. So what's really cool about the PowerPole charge is it connects to the NEMA 2000 network. It gives us a dongle that allows us to...
A dongle?
It's called a dongle. It's just what the connection is
I'm not even going to say what that sounds. A dongle. Okay.
It's called a dongle.
Okay.
We plug that dongle into the NEMA 2000 network.
A dongle.
And so the charge communicates with the dongle, and it puts the information here. So you can see it shows us your 3 trolling motor batteries, and it shows us your cranking battery.
So cool.
So what is really cool about the charge system is if you're on the water and you've had these units running for a while and you haven't fired up that big motor and they're getting a little bit low, that charge is going to look at these trolling motor batteries and get, hey, steal a little bit of this juice from here so we can crank this big battery up.
Isn't that awesome? I don't have to go back there and use a jumper cable. I don't have to use the switch. I can jump it right here from my units, which is just amazing to me.
Exactly. So the other cool thing is all right, so now our main battery's fully charged. You've got a 30-mile run down the lake to try and get to a spot that you know where it's at. You've been on that trolling motor most of the morning. Your batteries are been taking a little bit of a hit, but with that Ghost, not much of a hit.
Yeah.
But once the charge system realizes that your main battery is fully charged, it's going to start diverting that charge to your trolling motor batteries, which you didn't have that in the past.
We've had this on the Major League Fishing Cups this fall, and the batteries are basically all but charged by the end of the day after running in. You know, it's just amazing. I'm pretty excited to have this on my boat. So
the other thing that's really great about it, you know, one thing we talk about is the efficiency of your Ghost trolling motor. So at the end of the day, if you know, 60% more efficient than a brushed motor.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it doesn't take as long for your batteries to charge back up. Whereas
becoming more efficient.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and previously, you know, sometimes you guys, after a day of fishing, you may not get back to where you're staying till late, and so you don't get a full charge on those batteries. So the next day, if you do that 2-3 days in a row, by the end of the last day, when you're fishing for that check, especially, you don't want your batteries to run out. So with this gives you the ability to make sure everything stays charged.
Other things that we got on here, we've got my switches. We got all my live well switches. You know, it's really cool. That first fish switch, it actually will fill my live well up. Then it automatically goes to recirculate. Really, really cool. I just push one button. I know it's taking care of the rest of the day. We're gonna turn that back off. We've got the power pole. I can actually control my power poles from my unit right here. I can actually control my trolling motor from my units right here. Super, super cool. My Sirius satellite radio. What's that one for? I don't really know that one.
So this is part of the Mercury Vessel View link that you don't use a whole lot.
It's if I have multiple engines, if I'm trolling, that kind of stuff.
It gives the ability, like, it's really designed more for your offshore guys.
Okay.
But it gives them the ability, the guys that troll baits and stuff for blue marlin.
Yeah.
It gives them the ability, you could go in here and if you hit troll control, again, it's not active right now because the motor's not turned on, but it gives you the ability to increase your RPMs on your motor by like 50 RPMs a bump, so that you can get those baits trolling exactly where you need them. Cool. You know, the walleye guys, they really use that feature. Smart tow, if you're you use that when you're like pulling tubers and stuff like that. Cruise control allows you to kind of set your speed if you're like making a big run with an autopilot and stuff like that. So that's kind of where those are, and then your Mercury features here. So
that's super cool. So let's set my unit up over there. Let's get that into my down scan and my side scan. Set me up a couple pages over there.
All right. So the other thing we talked about, if I press and hold these, you know how we talked about being able to hit the little wrench to adjust the screen. You can also, these screens that you're not going to use, you can go in here and hit the X and clear them out.
Get them out of my way.
And then we go back in here, we hit the plus. And so, like, let's say on this screen you want a side scan, a down scan. You can split them top and bottom like that. What else do you normally?
I would have it we'll do one each way. We can save that one since you did that.
I was gonna say, I can show you one of my favorite screens I use. I'm gonna X and close that out. The other thing we didn't do on this screen yet, we're gonna go in here. Again, we go to the advanced user interface and turn on your auto hide.
Okay.
So now this menu screen will obviously pop out of the way whenever we're ready for it to go.
So I notice right now I don't have a source. It says this unit. It's not reading down here. So we just go up to source, go to LC1.
We look at LC1 and it appears that's where our structure scan is connected. So your active imaging is connected to your left console unit.
Over to here.
So now it feeds over here.
Okay.
So, and I know, I'm just gonna look real quick, sonar on this one. This unit, channel 1, all right, see all these lines that are on the screen? That's the interference we were talking about. If you got something that's pinging on the same frequency, and actually if we put it in high chirp, we might get a little bit more since that one's in high chirp, or sometimes it cleans it up. So, But
so just experiment a little bit with that. But there's no sense in having that one on
right,
and sonar
exactly.
over there because I got my sonar over here. So
we know that you use this one as your backup if
I've got 2 transducers.
You've got
so
2
I've got 2
transducers.
transducers in the boat if I ever have one go out. So he's going to turn that transducer off. There's no sense in both of them going off to have that interference.
So that one's set up as the PDWBL. Source name? RC. Now I'm going to go to this one. Our source is LC1. Wait a minute, this one's RC.
That's what I was thinking.
Tell,
I didn't want to say anything, but that's what I was thinking.
Hit backspace, RC1. There we go. That makes sense now.
Okay.
Now we go to our source. So now this, the right console is the source for this, and we're going to go into more options and hit stop sonar on this.
Okay.
So now it's not pinging back there, and if you ever need it, we're going to go ahead and put that in fresh, and we're going to put it in high chirp. So now, if you ever have a problem with your transducer on this side, you're automatically ready to go to this side.
Awesome.
So we'll go ahead and turn the source back to LC1. So now we paused RC1, but you can see left is scrolling.
Right.
So now that we've got that set up, let's go ahead and get your screen set up. You've got your down scan and your side scan here. The color palettes is what you can change on this, you know, be it, we call this Baja Blast. You know, a lot of guys like 9, 4. It really just kind of depends. I know when you guys are fishing areas where you're looking for those shell beds and stuff in the lakes, I know a lot of guys will use this 7 because those shell beds just blow up bright as can be on here. But again, it's whatever your preference is on that.
Okay.
So we've got this one set up. I can show you a screen that I use a lot that I like, and I use this on my boat as I do 2 side scans, a down scan, and a sonar. And this is a really cool split that we're able to do now. If you look at things, I'm gonna move a side scan there. So I set it up like this.
Yep,
Now,
I use that a lot.
So,
I actually take the sonar out because I will always have it over here. So I'll make this the full screen in the middle.
Okay, I like that idea too. So let's just go ahead and hit that. Again, we hit the control where it gives us the ability to change it. All I have to do is drag that back out. Then I'm going to change this to a 3-panel split like that.
Put down scan in the middle.
Move down scan in the middle and hit save. And then
change that to left.
Change that one to left. Change this side to the right.
Awesome.
And then if I remember correctly, don't you squeeze this in a little bit?
Yeah, I do.
So we can move that in a little bit and that in a little bit.
Looks great.
And you hit save, and then you've got that. And then when you go to a full screen on it, it just gives you a lot of area to look at.
Okay. One more, set me up a screen where I've got
the opposite of this.
Yep.
Perfect. So now let's go here. We're going to do a side scan. And then do you want
just down scan?
Just down scan on the top?
Yeah.
Okay. So we do that split up and down like that. Now we hit save. So on this one,
we'll be looking right.
That one was left only. Now we tell that right only. And then the next thing I'm going to do is adjust my splits and try to bring it down to about the level you're looking at there.
Looks good. Looks good. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We need to find fish. It's really what we need to do.
We're out here over 50 feet.
So let's talk about this real quick since we're sitting here. See these long arches that are running along the screen here? So that's our fish reveal, and it's an overlay of your 2D arches from your 2D sonar onto the screen. Now a lot of people ask, why are they so long like that? Well, that's because we're sitting here not moving. So basically these fish are just sitting right under us and they're not moving. You know, we're drifting a little bit, they may be just kind of drifting along with us. So when you see these long lines like that and you're not moving, it's because they're just kind of hanging out, moving with you under the transducer.
Cool. Hey man, thanks a lot for doing this. Appreciate you guys watching. The next one we're going to do next week is going to be the front unit. So tune back in. We're going to go up there. We're going to get those front units all dialed in like I like them. and that's going to have active target on it, which is going to be super cool. So you guys are going to want to see that. But I can't thank you enough for coming out.
No problem. It's been fun.
I appreciate it a bunch. You guys leave a comment. I'll go through all these comments. We'll get an answer. We'll get the product expert right here. He'll answer them for us. So thanks, guys.